morning. You're watching Rajya TV. This is Breakfast News. I am Rajat Kane. Let's have a look at the top headlines. Civilians killed, 3 Jawans injured in encounter between forces and militants in Shopia. Massive anti-militancy operation underway in South Kashmir. South Asia satellite will be launched at 4:57 p.m. aimed to boost connectivity in the region. 7 out of 8 SAARC nations part of the project. Election Commission will convene an all-party meeting on May 12 to discuss reliability of EVM. 7 national parties and 49 state parties to be invited. Major win for Donald Trump. House of Representatives passes healthcare bill aimed at repealing and replacing Obamacare. And India is 1 win away from the final of Aslan Shah hockey tournament to square off with the hosts Malaysia in the final round-robin league match today. President Pranab Mukherjee has promulgated an ordinance giving greater powers to the Reserve Bank to tackle mounting bad loans. The Union Cabinet had on Thursday approved promulgation of the ordinance to amend the Banking Regulation Act for resolution of the non-performing asset crisis. The amendments to the Act is aimed at helping in effectively resolving the bad loan problem. Section 35A empowers the Reserve Bank to issue directions to banks in the public interest and depositors. A civilian has been killed and 3 army Jawans injured after the encounter broke out between the militants and security forces in the Shopia district in South Kashmir on Thursday. The forces launched a cordon and search operation following information about presence of 3 to 4 militants in the area. Early in the day, security forces launched a massive anti-militancy operation in the district. Over 24 villages were cordoned off and searched even as security forces faced protest in some places.
Security forces on Thursday launched a massive anti-terror operation in Kashmir's Shopia district. The search operation, jointly initiated by the Army, CRPF and the state police, started early morning with around 4,000 troops cordoning off more than 20 villages.
Combing operation goes on regularly. It is everyday affair. आज कोई नया combing operation नहीं हो रहा है, regular affair है. ये है कि थोड़ी अब की बार आज जो combing operation चल रहा है वो इसलिए हो रहा है कि कुछ बैंक लूटे गए हैं, कुछ हमारे पुलिसकर्मी मारे गए हैं, some policemen have been killed. So it is just to make sure that the situation is brought under control. These operations are carried out in a planned manner.
The search operation followed intelligence inputs about the presence of terrorists in the area. A number of videos surfaced recently showing large groups of heavily armed terrorists marching in the South Kashmir area. In the last 3 days, South Kashmir has seen a spate of attacks on banks and police. The operation, however, was hampered by small groups of people pelting stones at security forces in some places. Security forces also faced stone pelters in Kashmir's Sopore town as students clashed with the forces protesting against the arrest of their colleagues. At least 10 people were hurt in the clashes as police used batons and tear gas shells to disperse the protesters.
Maybe that will also calm the situation in these schools. That is important. We have to find a way forward, and way forward cannot be found by creating further tensions. The day in center must find a political solution to the problem of Kashmir. If they don't find a political solution to the Kashmir, this problem will continue to rise.
The clashes come in the wake of a police raid on April 15th on a government degree college in Pulwama. It triggered widespread student protests across the valley that have been continuing intermittently since then. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Army Chief General Bipin Rawat has pitched for increasing defence spending to enhance strategic clout. Addressing a defence think tank in Delhi, he said that the armed forces are not getting the due share of resources. He also underlined the need for India to look for new friends and allies in the wake of mounting tensions with Pakistan and China. General Rawat spoke about the need for economic and military growth to go hand in hand for India to realize its true potential. He said, and I quote, "While we are developing our economy, the military is not getting its due share. I think here we need to draw a lesson from China. military and economic growth should be conjoined as they are two tenets of national power. He also added, and I quote, we have to start looking at how do we carry out counter-encirclement of our future adversaries, developing alliance, developing friends to overcome the current deficiencies. That must be part of our strategic thought process. Now, at least 2 Naxal commanders were gunned down in retaliatory action by the CRPF after Maoist attack in Chhattisgarh's Sukma district last week, in which 25 security personnel were killed. The new information surfaced after at least 11 suspects were rounded up for questioning by the CRPF and state police since the April 24th attack in Burkapal area. Some of the suspects who were allegedly involved in Burkapal attack will be arrested once the interrogation process is complete. The interrogation may reveal further crucial details about the incident. The Election Commission has convened an all-party meeting on 12th May to discuss the issue of electronic voting machines. As many as 16 opposition parties have questioned the reliability of the EVMs. At a press conference last Saturday, Chief Election Commissioner Naseem Zaidi had said efforts will be made to convince parties that the machines are reliable and tamper-proof. Recently, the opposition parties had urged the poll panel to revert back to the ballot system. They claimed the faith of people in the electronic voting machines had been eroded. 7 national parties and 49 state parties are likely to be invited for an all-party meet.
इलेक्शन कमीशन जल्दी ही एक ऑल पार्टी मीटिंग करेंगे जिसमें ईवीएम के बारे में उनको बताया जाएगा कि किस प्रकार से हमारी ईवीएम नॉन टेम्परेबल हैं, सिक्योर्ड हैं हमारे एडमिनिस्ट्रेटिव और टेक्निकल सेफगार्ड्स के अंतर्गत। मेरे ख्याल में भारत पहला देश होगा जहां पे 100% वीवीपैट्स यानी कि पेपर ऑडिट ट्रेल का इस्तेमाल हर पोलिंग स्टेशन पर किया जाएगा और ऐसा करना मेरे ख्याल में वोटर्स के कॉन्फिडेंस को और भी बढ़ावा देगा और भी पारदर्शिता लाएगा पूरी इलेक्शन प्रोसेस में।
Now, Israel launched the South Asia satellite aboard GSLV Mk8 second launch vehicle from Sriharikota today. It's a dream project of Prime Minister Modi, aimed at sharing the fruits of technology with India's neighbours. All SAARC nations except Pakistan are the partners of SAC satellite project.
The South Asia satellite, also known as the GSAT-09 communication satellite, will be launched on Friday from the Satish Dhawan Space Centre in Sriharikota. The satellite will be launched using a geostationary launch vehicle Mk2. The launch will be India's gift to its neighbouring countries.
आज के समय में हर कंट्री को अपना एक कम्युनिकेशन का सैटेलाइट चाहिए होता है, तो श्रीलंका के पास किसी और कंट्री ने दिया हुआ है, बांग्लादेश फ्रांस के साथ रिलेशन डेवलप कर रहा है कि उनकी स्पेस एजेंसी उनको एक दे, और चाइना ने तो पाकिस्तान के लिए भी किया हुआ है। तो ये जो इसके जो बेनिफिट जो हम लोग चाहते हैं, हर एक कंट्री जो चाहती है, तो वो अगर हम लोग ये मिलकर ये काम करेंगे तो ये एक तरह से आपस में जो रिलेशंस हैं उनको सुधारने का भी काम करेगा, क्योंकि हम लोग एक सिंगल कंट्री से ऊपर उठकर हम लोग इसको देख रहे हैं, पूरे पर्सपेक्टिव में देख रहे हैं, जिसको हम लोग आज हम लोग बोलते हैं ग्लोबल विलेज है, पूरा विश्व जो है उसी तरह से ये होगा।
Built by ISRO, the South Asia satellite weighs 2,230 kilograms and has 12 Ku band transponders. The cost of the satellite is 235 crore rupees. It is cuboid in shape and built around a central cylinder. This mission has a life of over 12 years. This satellite will enable full range of applications and services in the areas of telecommunication, disaster management support, DTH, teleeducation and telemedicine.
तो GSLV करीब 3000 किलो या 3 टन का सैटेलाइट, उसको 36,000 किलोमीटर का जो ऑर्बिट होता है उसमें डालने की उसमें क्षमता है। अब इस लॉन्च को मिलाकर हम ये कह सकते हैं कि GSLV भी एक तरह से हमारे लिए पावर हॉर्स बनता जा रहा है, क्योंकि हमें जब टेलीकम्युनिकेशन सैटेलाइट को ऑर्बिट में डालना होगा तो उसमें मार्केट भी बहुत ज़्यादा है इंटरनेशनली अगर उसको देखें, और जो हम लोगों ने क्रायोजेनिक इंजन जो इसके लिए डेवलप किया है वो हम लोगों ने खुद डेवलप किया, तो हमारी जो कॉस्ट है लॉन्चिंग की वो दूसरी कंट्रीज से कम आ रही है।
The satellite was announced by Prime Minister Narendra Modi during the 2014 SAARC summit in Nepal. It was earlier referred to as the SAARC satellite, but was renamed after Pakistan opted out. Launching this satellite is a vital step for India to enhance cooperation between its neighbours. Aruna Thakur's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
Now, the government released its third Clean City survey. Indore was just the cleanest city out of 434 cities, while Gonda in UP was named the dirtiest. The aim of the survey is to spread awareness about cleanliness in the country.
A nationwide survey found Indore the cleanest city and Uttar Pradesh's Gonda district the dirtiest in 2016. Bhopal was ranked second, while Visakhapatnam and Surat were judged the third and fourth cleanest cities. The government's Swachh Sarvekshan 2017 surveyed 434 cities that saw Mysuru slipping to number 5 from the top rankings that it achieved in the last two surveys. The New Delhi Municipal Corporation area that houses 1.5% of Delhi's 16.78 million residents slipped to 7th position, dropping 3 places from last year. Navi Mumbai was the cleanest city in Maharashtra at number 8, followed by Pune that was ranked at 13. Prime Minister Narendra Modi's constituency Varanasi was ranked 32, a dramatic improvement from 2014 when it was close to the bottom at 418 among 476 cities. Gujarat had 12 names in the top 50 clean cities, followed by Madhya Pradesh with 11 and Andhra Pradesh with 8. Uttar Pradesh accounted for half of the bottom 50 cities in the rankings.
जो प्रथम स्थान में, द्वितीय स्थान में, तृतीय स्थान में, नहीं तो कम से कम टॉप 50 में पहुंच गया, उन लोगों ने क्या किया है, उनका उदाहरण से कुछ सीखना और अपना इलाका में भी ऐसी योजना अमल करने के लिए प्रयास करना, यही मुख्य उद्देश्य है.
The survey was conducted for the third year and took into account 500 cities with a population of 1 lakh and above under the Swachh Bharat and Urban. Launched in 2014, the Swachh Bharat campaign aims to make India clean and open defecation free by 2019, the 150th birth anniversary year of Mahatma Gandhi. Cities were evaluated on 5 parameters: waste collection, solid waste management, construction of toilets, sanitation strategies and behavior change communication. Cities in West Bengal were not ranked as the state government did not participate in the survey. Bureau Report, Rajya Sabha TV.
Time for a short break. Stay tuned to Rajya Sabha TV.
The sacred relics of Buddha were unearthed in Piprava in Uttar Pradesh. Buddhist monks from all over the world visit the National Museum to pay their respects. These charred bone fragments of Buddha are housed in the gold canopy gifted by the royal family of Thailand.
Welcome back. The fate of 4th death row convicts in the sensational December 16, 2012 gang rape and murder case would be decided today. The Supreme Court is expected to deliver its verdict on the appeals by these convicts challenging the Delhi High Court judgment. The Apex Court had on March 27th reserved its verdict on the appeals of 4 convicts against the conviction and death penalty awarded to them by the High Court on March 13, 2014. Besides dealing with the challenge to conviction, the Apex Court was also deliberating on the issue of quantum of sentence to the convicts, as it has been alleged the trial court did not separately consider mitigating circumstances of each convict while sending them to the gallows. The 23-year-old paramedic was brutally assaulted and raped by 6 persons in the moving bus in South Delhi and thrown out of a vehicle with a male friend on the night of December 16, 2012. She had died in a Singapore hospital on December 29 that year. The Supreme Court on Thursday refused to entertain a plea to make Hindi language compulsory for school students of class 1st to class 8 to promote national unity. The bench led by Chief Justice J.S. Kehar said making Hindi compulsory might open floodgates for people speaking other languages to demand that there should also be made compulsory. Citing that petitioner Ashwani Kumar Upadhyay was himself a leader of ruling Bharatiya Janata Party, the bench asked why he doesn't approach the government as his own party is in power. The petitioner in the plea had referred to constitutional provisions and the non-execution of the 3-language formula enunciated in 1968 national policy resolution by the centre in consultation with the states. The plea said the three-language formula provided for the study of Hindi, English and modern Indian language in Hindi-speaking states and Hindi, English and a regional language in non-Hindi-speaking states. It's still not implemented. In a series of other rulings on Thursday, the Supreme Court reserved its order on whether to make Aadhar card mandatory for getting the permanent account number and to file income tax returns. The Apex Court bench, comprising Justice Arjun Kumar Sikri and Justice Ashok Bhushan, asked all concerned parties to file their respective written submissions by Tuesday. Attorney General Mukul Rohtgi informed the Apex Court that Aadhar is unique and could not be duplicated. Lawyers appearing for various petitioners, however, argued that the system is not fully foolproof and can be duplicated. The Supreme Court had earlier on March 27 specified that Aadhar card should not be made mandatory for availing the government schemes. In the violation of Apex Court's order, the centre introduced last-minute amendment to the Finance Bill 2017, making Aadhar card mandatory for filing taxes. A look at what else is making news across the nation in the Nationwide. Senior BJP leaders Murli Manohar Joshi and Shantakumar have been reappointed as chairpersons of the Estimate Committee and the Parliamentary Committee on the Public Undertakings for fixed term of 1 year. Besides Joshi, there are 29 members in the panel. The functions of this committee are to suggest alternate policies and to bring about efficiency and economy in the administration. Daki 2 missile capable of carrying nuclear weapons was tested on Thursday in Baleshwar, Odisha, but missile failed to meet the desired criteria. The missile was released from the mobile launcher on the integrated test range. The fire length is 20 meters and its weight is 17 tons and is capable of carrying 1,000 kilograms payload. CPM General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri met Odisha Chief Minister Naveen Patnaik on Thursday and spoke about BJP chief favoured joint efforts to field a common secular candidate for the upcoming presidential polls. He emphasised in collective efforts for an acceptable common candidate to undertake secular supervision as it is essential at this juncture. The Goods and Service Tax Bill was passed in Haryana Assembly on Thursday unanimously. With its implementation, tax on consumer goods would be reduced, benefiting the consumers. The State Finance Minister said it would also build up confidence among entrepreneurs on the country's economy and also attract large-scale foreign investments. Now, Russia, Iran and Turkey have signed an agreement to set up 4 safe zones in Syria. The 3 countries backing different sides in Syria war reached deal on Thursday and signed documents in Kazakh capital Astana. However, delegates for the rebel forces stormed out of the protest. The Syrian government is not a signatory, but its state news agency said it supported the plan. Under the plan, safe zones would be established in the rebel-held territory in Idlib, Homs, and in the south and eastern Ghouta near Damascus. Syria and Russia warplanes would stop bombing rebel positions, while opposition groups too would halt their attacks. The safe zones would remain in place for 6 months for the safe return of refugees and for provisions of relief supplies and medical aid. A partial cessation of hostilities was declared at the end of last year, but violence has continued on several fronts. The United Nations described as a promising step to wind down brutal 6 years war. Syria's war has claimed more than 300,000 lives since it erupted in the year 2011.
Можно, конечно, предположить, что у отдельных представителей сирийской вооруженной оппозиции что-то накипело, но накипело, я считаю, не только у них, накипело и у сирийской правительственной делегации, которая ведет борьбу с терроризмом уже в течение 6 лет.
We really wish that our Russian and Iranian friends will discuss the details related and relevant to the mechanisms of implementation of this memorandum in Damascus with the Syrian authorities as soon as possible. We consider Astana 4 as a qualitative achievement.
Promising step for what the people want to have in Syria. De-escalation of violence, reduction of what has been seen as a constant, instead, increase in many areas, particularly those 4 areas of violence. The UN, therefore, is strongly supportive of that and will do what it can to actually get into the concrete realization of the details.
Now, in a major victory for President Donald Trump, the U.S. House of Representatives passed a health care bill which is aimed at repealing and replacing Obamacare or the Affordable Care Act. After a week of negotiations and lobbying from Republicans, the vote in the lower chamber ended with 217 GOP lawmakers backing the measure. 20 Republicans opposed it, as did all House Democrats. The controversial health care bill was earlier pulled out from the House floor in March as it didn't have enough support. However, the bill has been resuscitated with several amendments. The bill now heads to Senate, with Trump being confident to clear that the challenge as well. Although the chamber is Republican-controlled, the majority is a thin one, and there are disagreements between the conservatives and moderate Republicans over the bill.
I went through 2 years of campaigning, and I'm telling you, no matter where I went, people were suffering so badly with the ravages of Obamacare. And I will say this, that as far as I'm concerned, your premiums, they're going to start to come down. We're going to get this passed through the Senate. I feel so confident.
It was very interesting to see the debate today. I think there is no question that Democrats won the debate. The Republicans have the majority. They won the vote. But the American people now have to judge them by how they have acted.
I'll look at what else is making news across the world in World Wrap. Queen Elizabeth II's husband and Duke of Edinburgh, Prince Philip, has decided to retire from his royal duties from September. The Buckingham Palace announced on Thursday that 95-year-old's decision had the full support of the Queen. The sons and heir, Prince Charles, and grandson Prince William and Harry, are likely to take on the additional royal duties to step in for Prince Philip at public engagement from later this year. French presidential candidate Emmanuel Macron on Thursday accused his far-right rival Marine Le Pen of spreading lies by suggesting that he had an undisclosed offshore fund. He has filed a lawsuit over the online rumors of secret bank account in Caribbean. An investigation has been opened following his complaint. The allegedly fake internet campaign against Macron began surfacing shortly before a televised debate between the two candidates on Wednesday night. At least 37 people were injured in a fire at a chemical factory near Spanish capital Madrid. Several explosions ripped through the recycling site of hazardous waste. The area has since been evacuated. Although thick black smoke could be seen from afar, the air quality measured locally showed normal readings. The cause of the incident is still unclear. Investigations are underway. A win away from the final, Indian hockey team will square off with the host Malaysia in the final round-robin league match today at 26th Aslan Shah Hockey Tournament Cup. With defending champion Australia needing just a draw against rank outsiders Japan, India is aware that a slip-up against Malaysia can leave them stranded and Great Britain can overtake them in the round-robin league standings. With just one goal edge over Great Britain, India will have advantage of knowing that what is required of them, as they will feature in the last fixture. But if a lot of goals are required, then the team would have to get their acts together. Last year, India finished runner-up as Australia clinched their 9th title in Sultan Aslan Shah Cup. Australia defeated India 4-0 in 2016 finals. Bronze medalist Satish Kumar lost in the quarterfinals to bow out of medal contention Asia Boxing Championship at Tashkent. Also going down the last stage was Manish Pamar in 81 kilo categories. Satish Kumar lost to Kazakhstan opponent in the unanimous verdict, while Manish lost against Turkmenistan opponent, which was also a unanimous decision. However, both the boxers are still in fray for the berth in the upcoming World Championship in Germany. Both of them will have to fight it out in a box-off to be held on Saturday. Boxing's bowing out in the quarterfinals along with Satish were Manoj Kumar, Kavindra Singh Bisht and Gaurav Bithuri, who had lost the quarterfinals bout. India had won 4 medals at last Asian Championship in 2015. Now, China is expected to carry out maiden test flight of a homegrown passenger jet today. It's reportedly built to meet soaring Chinese travel demand and challenge dominance of Boeing and Airbus. It's China's first domestically built large passenger jet, built by a state-owned aerospace manufacturer. Commercial Aircraft Corporation of China. The plane will take off from Shanghai's Pudong International Airport. The twin-engine C919 was unveiled last November at a rollout ceremony in Shanghai. It can carry up to 158 passengers and has a range of 4,075 kilometers. A long-range version can fly up to 5,555 kilometers. Before China's C919, only US, Russia, Brazil, Canada and UK, France and Germany had developed large homegrown airliners.
对设计来说，那飞机就是他们的孩子嘛，他们觉得他们孩子非常完美。那我们的任务就是告诉你，你的孩子不完美，有好多不好的地方，你得去改。
That's for now. Keep watching Rajya TV for more national and international news. Thank you.